I started out day 4 of week 2 by digging a hole where I could put villagers. But wait a minute, I haven't told you what this video is about yet. This is the second week of my 1 month and 1 world Minecraft series, where I'm limiting my progress each week, and by the end of the month, I will be allowed to do anything I want. But since I'm all the way back in week 2, the only new things I'm allowed are a nether portal and mending for my tools and armor. That's why I'm mining out this hole for villagers so I can breed them and get a villager with mending. But how will I get villagers when there's no village in this swamp to begin with? I will be using the nether to transport villagers from one village through the nether to my swamp. But soon I realized all of that was for nothing since I wanted to buy mending for 1 emerald a book. And the fastest way to do that is to just cure a naturally spawning zombie villager. So I found a naturally spawning zombie villager and I began trapping it. I cured the unwilling participant of my experiment, and soon he was cured, so I began shuffling through his trades looking for mending. Until eventually, the villager traded mending, which I ended up getting 9 books of so I could add mending to all of my gear, which I ended up doing, and that was the end of day 4, week 2. All day 5 of week 2 was used for is building a frame for a house, which I only ended up making progress on and finishing by week 3. So you should probably continue watching if you want to see the finished product of this house. This is the last of the footage of week 2, so we will be moving on to week 3 from now on. By week 3, I was able to get netherite armor, beacons, and totems of undying from raids. And the first day of week 3 is not one you want to miss. Day 1 of week 3 was used for getting a netherite smithing template from a bastion. A bastion is one of the most dangerous structures in the game, and I was in hardcore, so I'd have to be very careful once I arrived. And once I had arrived, I had already found the treasure room, which had a 100% chance to have a netherite smithing template in it. While I was dealing with some piglin brutes though, a magma cube knocked me off the edge of the roof and I fell into some lava, which ended up doing this. Thankfully, I didn't die, but that was just way too close. So after that, I crafted a bucket and filled it with lava. After that, I poured lava on the piglin brutes and I closed off the treasure room completely. After that, I got both 2 netherite ingots and the smithing template. Then, once I arrived back at my base, I started duplicating the netherite upgrade templates. Then, I applied the 2 netherite ingots I got from the bastion to my armor. And after that, I started bed bombing in the nether for more netherite. My plan that day was to at least get full netherite armor, and I would worry about the tools later. And soon enough, I had full netherite armor, which is one of my goals, crossed off. Now, I began building an iron farm so I could have iron enough for a beacon later. The iron farm design I use is excellent at killing iron golems mercilessly. It was designed by ENXO4, the ultimate iron golem killer. And that is the end of the first day of week 3. On day 2 of week 3, I did absolutely nothing and I didn't record at all. Though, I did record day 3 of week 3 and a lot happened. And my goal for that day was to fight the wither and kill it. That way I can get a beacon, which is useful for almost everything in the game. And so, once I arrived at the fortress, I began killing wither skeletons for their wither skeleton skulls. Once I finally finished farming, I began fighting the wither. The fight lasted about 30 seconds before I brutally slaughtered the wither. Then I stole its most valuable possession, its nether star, and I used it to craft a beacon. Then I used its beacon to fight a raid, which was probably the easiest raid I've ever fought, and the laggiest raid I have ever fought. In the end though, I won the raid, and it was just another victory for the OGs. Day 5 of week 3 is the final day of week 3, and it is going to be used to complete my set of netherite gear. After spending some time harvesting netherite from the nether, I applied it to all of my gear. After that, there was no more game progression to be had, so I started filling in a frame with stone. This was the frame of the house I built on week 2. And after I finished that house, I began working on the frame for a new house. Eventually, I finished building the house, so I started working on paths and extra details around the house. I was lucky enough to spawn a tree that had a beehive on it, which added even more detail to this area and made it look even better. With that being done and the house being finished, the video is over. So I would like to thank you all for watching. And if you did indeed watch the video to the end and you hear this, then you might as well consider subscribing because I'm sure you enjoyed the video. And you should also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new uploads. The finale to this series comes soon and I will try my best to make it my best video yet. And if I hit 100 subscribers by the end of this month, then I will post another video like this but on a different world type. And that is it. Goodbye.